Hey guys, today I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing and show you guys some stuff from Mercs, specifically the CCC, which is the Commercial Corporate Continuity faction for Mercs. Mercs is a skirmish game. There are, I'm not sure, probably 5 or 6 factions. I believe eventually there'll be more. You only ever play with 5 figures per side, per army. So right now there's only 6 figures per faction available. So this is all that's available right now for the CCC. There's currently 6 models available. Let's see here. We've got a sniper. These guys are called the Yellow Jackets. This Mercs team is called the Yellow Jackets. They work for the CCC. There's the Assault Trooper. There is the Incinerator. We've also got the Assault Leader. And we've also got the Demolition. This is the very first model. You'll notice that this is a different kind of clamshell design than all the rest of them. The reason for that is because I actually bought this model 2 or 3 years ago at Gen Con. I want to say it wasn't 2011 Gen Con, and it wasn't 2010 Gen Con. I think it was 2009. The Mercs Miniatures company didn't even have a booth yet, so they were I just kind of found out about this on a different website, and I searched it out while I was at Gen Con because I thought it was a really cool looking fig, and I really love the artwork that Keith does. I've talked to Keith the last 2 Gen Cons in the Mercs booth. He's a really nice guy, really talented artist. So these are all based off of his designs, and they are all sculpted by Tom Mason. So let me show you a little bit here. This is what we're looking at. And it comes in the clamshell like this. They're all metal figures, and they're pretty dynamically designed. This particular faction is, if you really hate gluing metal to metal, you're going to find it a little difficult in this game, in my opinion, because a lot of the pieces are metal, and so they're all designed to kind of work in situations to be more of a 3-dimensional dynamic miniature. They're not a flat kind of holding, you know, a gun in one hand and a knife in the other hand in one piece. There is a faction, the USCR, which is kind of a neo-Soviet faction. Of their 6 figures, 4 of those are only one piece. So you just glue them onto the base and you're ready to go. A little bit of mold lines, but these are actually very nice for mold lines. There's very little in the way of mold lines, so that's kind of cool. They use the kind of rounded edge bases, like you're starting to see in more and more miniatures games. But this is the first model they ever made, and it's called the Heavy Assault. So you've got, let's see here, you've got a figure here, it's got the body, you've got a kind of a metal sprue, and you've got, looks like a gun belt, kind of the ammo feed, backpack, and the actual weapon itself. They're really well sculpted, and I really like the look of them, and I love the look of the artwork. Let's see if we can get a couple of these other ones. I'm going to put this one back. So yeah, this one is old because I bought it, like I said, more than 2 years ago. That's how hipster I am. I like these guys before they were cool. All right, so we're going to go on to the Incinerator. He's the flamethrower guy. I really like the clamshells. It really works well for kind of storing the minis and all that kind of stuff. This guy is a pretty simple sculpt. He is, as you can see, pretty much just one figure here. Gonna have to bend his flamethrower back a little bit into true, but it's pretty close. And then there's this backpack kind of thing. Now you'll notice it's got a very long, kind of straight piece here. This is designed so that you glue it on there in the back, and then it's my job then to cut off this skinny piece and to bend this hose to attach it to the proper place on the flamethrower, I'm assuming. And again, same type of base. So that's what this figure looks like. Next we'll look at the sniper. The sniper has got a really kind of small skinny bit on the gun, obviously. The barrel is kind of long and pointed, so that's going to probably bend pretty frequently. You're going to want to be kind of careful with it and not snap that off. As you can see here, it's it's pretty slight. So yeah, plus you've got kind of a backpack, sort of, just like a, I think it's maybe more of a hip bag, kind of goes on his back, you know, there. But yeah, he's in a position where he's sort of leaning down, and when he holds the gun, he's holding it in a kind of a down position, like the barrel is held down. So that's going to be kind of cool to see. Most of these, like I said, are multi-piece. In this faction, they're all multi-piece. Even if it's only just a single thing, like thrown on a backpack. Like this guy, this is the Assault Leader, which you'll notice here, you can kind of see it, Best Sci-Fi Mini 2009 runner-up for Tabletop Gaming News. And it is a really good figure. So let's see here. Like I said, now this comes out all in one piece, which is actually sort of handy. His little tab here that the feet sit on also acts as sprue, so you can really see that this one's going to be a quick and simple one to put together. There's kind of a big piece of flash that kind of goes down here, but that can be pulled off. It's probably just a channel to get metal into the molds in the right spot. So that guy's cool. We got two more. We've got the Assault Trooper, who's kind of just what you would call a bog standard, just plain old guy with a gun, kind of an assault rifle. He's got no head, so that's, you know, problematic, except he comes with two heads. You can either give him a full-blown kind of helmet look head, or an actual open face kind of head where he's got, you know, like something going on there. He's got, like he's lost his helmet, perhaps. You don't know. And then there's his gun again, which has got both his hands attached to it, so that's going to be a relatively easy glue. It's going to be pretty much three pieces to put this guy together and then attach him to the base. The base is the fourth piece. Lastly, if I can get that on there. Lastly, we're going to have the Demolition Guy. Now this guy's got a few more bits. He's got a bit of a cloak too. You can kind of see here. He's got a bit of a kind of a cloak going on. Those are always fun to paint, I think. And again, kind of just a little metal sprue, which I really like. I like the fact that they're attached to each other and you don't have to go digging around, or they don't fall out of the clamshell. He's pretty much just got a backpack, a helmet, and a rifle. So these are the guys currently in the Mercs CCC faction. This is all 6 of the guys. It's literally a situation where if you wanted to own all the pieces for a specific army right now in that game, you could probably get away with probably about $60 American, because they usually run about $9.99 a piece, each of these guys. And like I said, they're high quality miniatures, but they work out pretty well that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these guys together, and then I'm going to excuse me, put a little bit of stuff on there. I'm going to get a drink as well. I'm going to put a little Bad of Black, something or other on there, a wash, so you can see a little bit more detail in here. And then I'm going to show you that stuff, and then you can kind of see what they look like when they're put together. All right, so we're back, and I've put them all together, and I've given them a black wash just so that they kind of show up a little bit better on camera. And we can go to and take a look at them and see how they look. Now, there's 6 guys. In the book, there's only 5, because they released the last guy I'm going to talk about after the book had come out. So I'm going to not go along in the order of the book. I'm just going to kind of go in the order I got them over here. So here's our first guy, and this is our Heavy Assault. This was the first model, like I said, that they made. It's the first one that I bought back in 2008 or 2009. He's got a really big gun. He's got that belt, that ammo belt that's going over there. He was kind of tough to put together, I'm not going to lie. He was a little tough. But yeah, I think it's a really dynamic sculpt and it looks really good. All right. Next we have the Incinerator. He's got a big flamethrower. And the flamethrower on this guy is attached, you can see here by that hose that I showed you. I bent it around his left thigh, and then I drilled a hole. actually into the back of it and kind of plugged it in there, glued it. So it's kind of like I pinned it, but with the actual pin that they give you, which is sort of actually pretty helpful. Again, not a necessarily really easy guy to put together. Probably a little bit easier than the Heavy Assault. All right. Also, I think a really dynamic sculpt. Really got cool tanks on the back there for the incinerator. All right. And this is the Sniper. Now, this guy wasn't super hard to put together, but I'm a little nervous, to be perfectly honest with you, about that barrel. I think that barrel is going to be hard to keep straight over time, carrying it around in a different case and things like that, because it's pretty slight. If I really, really wanted to get into it, I would probably cut that barrel off and put a piece of brass rod in there and then put the tip of the rifle, you know, like back onto the brass rod, if you can see that there. It's a lot of work to do that, but if I really wanted to be secure in it. Otherwise, I think I can probably bend it back and it should be fine if it does get bent. Otherwise, I'll just be really careful with it. This is our, not the Sniper, the Medic, I'm sorry. So this is the Medic, and he's got pretty much, he was, I think, just head, gun, and backpack. You glued those onto the body, and then that was pretty much it. But, set's falling apart over here. But yeah, so he's got the same type of rifle that all the guys in the Yellow Jackets, if they're not using something specialized, seem to use. And then he's got a bunch of little packs, probably with some sort of medicine, stims, that kind of stuff. He's also, I think, a really cool sculpt. He could be used in a lot of different armies, kind of generically. These guys are, I put them up next to other, let's say, famous heroic scale figures, specifically this guy. This guy is the Assault Leader, and they are just a little bit taller than, you know, the Protectors of Man, let's just say that. And so yeah, they're just a little bit taller, a little bit more heroic scale than the heroic scale, but I think they work out really well, and so they can kind of pretty much be used in any sort of, you know, if you buy them and you want to use them for some other army, some other skirmish game, totally can. This guy, again, has got the same assault rifle, plus he's got a pistol over here that works out pretty well. He was, I think, just 2 pieces, if I remember correctly. I don't think I had to do anything other than glue the backpack on him, so that was kind of nice. And then lastly is the new figure, and he's Demolition. He's got a slightly different rifle on him. I would say that that is probably got like a silencer on the front, because it's got such a thicker barrel than the other ones. And he's got a bunch of packs and grenades and things like that. A bit of a cape kind of going on there, which is sort of cool. Putting these guys together was a little difficult. If you do a lot of modeling with metal, it won't be hard. If you're kind of new to it, it might be a little difficult. But it works out really well, and I think they're really great looking sculpts, really dynamic, and I'm really looking forward to painting them now. I'm going to prime them. Well, I'm going to put texture and stuff on the bases, and I'm probably going to still prime them maybe even this weekend. And then maybe I can post some stuff in the comments, or I can post some stuff. I'll certainly post it on Minirama once I get them done. But I think they look really great, and I'm really looking forward to starting to play with these guys and the kind of neo-Soviet USCR guys that I've got already about 3/4 of the way painted. If you got any questions down below, let me know. And yeah, that's all I got for now. And these things are available on mercsminis.com. And that's where you can buy them, or you can buy them at your local store.